You are not too old. You are the perfect age. And I say this because all of my adult life, I've had people around me say, we're too old, or we're old, or I'm old. Listen, this started happening when I was a teenager. My friends would be like, oh, we're so old now. Look, compared to middle schoolers or high schoolers, right? And this continued when we're 21. Oh, we're so old now. And now that I'm 30, I have certainly felt a shift in my identity. And looking back, I can see how I've changed, and I hope and I expect to continue to change and to grow. But oftentimes, people say, I'm too old as an excuse to not take chances, to not do the things they want to do, to not live life to the fullest. I have friends that will probably never run again. How crazy is that? Like, never physically, fully able to run, will never run again because they use the excuse, I'm too old, oh, I'm out of shape, I'm this, I'm that. If you use your age as an excuse to not do something, to me, it's tantamount to cowardice. You were given, God willing, a healthy body and a fine spirit to work with, perfect fuel to move forward and embark on this journey of life. And to use that phrase, I'm too old, is just a way to scapegoat. It's a way to get out of ownership of where you're at. And so what I'm really getting at is to take ownership of where you're at. And it's interesting because as you get older, you will shed layers of who you were. You will be able to look back on past versions of yourself and say, oh, I would never do that now. Well, that's the point, right? You did what you did then based on what you knew then, just like you're doing now what you're doing because of what you are currently at. There's different milestones and stages of life, some of which I haven't experienced yet. I hope to. Having kids, getting married, doing that, if that's the course for you, if that's the course you feel called, laid out to you by God, right? And I hope that every year you get wiser, you gain more experience, but you can never let anything hold you back. You can never let these excuses and these limiting beliefs keep you stuck and stagnant, right? If you have a vision for yourself, despite whether or not you've been there before, you can do it. Okay, you know, my roommate just said to me, he's like, who is this new Mike? Like, who is this guy? And it's interesting because you can just decide to change right now. Watching this video, you can say, you know what? I want to be this way now, and just do it. The only thing in the way is you and whatever story you've come up with. And a lot of times, too, the excuse, I'm too old, is used by people who are afraid of death. I'm not saying that I'm immune to the fear of death. I certainly feel it. I think it'd be foolish to say none of us do. We all do in some degree at some point in our lives. Some are closer than others, but we never know when that day is going to be. It's a very stoic principle. Memento mori, remember death. And lately I've been thinking more and more about it and reflecting deeply upon it. And so much of life is uncertain. I've tried so hard, and I made a lot of videos, and I more than likely continue to make videos about the idea of letting go, that principle of letting go. But to expect to control something or to say, you know, I'm going to live to be X amount of years old, no one can, in rational, reasonable confidence, say, I will live this long. We don't know. And I have a friend who would oftentimes, I noticed, be like, oh, you're so old. She's a few years younger than me. And I asked her once, I said, are you afraid of getting older? And this is a bit of a digression, but something to keep in mind. Whatever people tell you, not all the time, but some of the time certainly, if they say, oh, you're too old, you're this, you're that, it may just be a projection of how they feel about themselves. So by you getting older, or they're projecting age onto you, it's really saying, I'm afraid of getting older. And I'm going to use you as the canvas on which to project this fear. And so I want to remind you, I want to leave you with this. You can change who you are whenever you want. For better or for worse. Better or for worse. It's up to you. You get to decide who you want to be. You get to decide how old or how young you are, because externally, your physical vessel may appear older, but the older people that I've seen who have embraced and continue to hold on to that inner youth, it like pours through them, this vitality and this vigor. Know that it can with you as well. I have people tell me all the time, this is kind of crazy. Someone thought I was a teenager, which is wild. That's a little extreme. But people often think I'm in my early to mid 20s. And it's a whole other health side of things, but a lot of it's mental. How you think about yourself. Anyway, I digress. Hope you got something out of this. You got this. You can do this. Have faith. Peace.